Hi, and welcome to Positive Parenting. My name is Irene Achia. I'm a Christian counsellor, and today we're going to continue our series on developmental stages. Today we're going to talk about early adolescence, those ages between 12 and 14-year-olds. It's one age group where I get a lot of questions because it's that transition oftentimes from primary to high school or to middle school or however your school system is set up. But there's usually a significant amount of change in a child's life in this period. There's also physical development that's going on, and they're often very concerned with their own physical development. They're entering puberty and they're entering changes to their body that sometimes are confusing and confronting to them. And it's important as parents that we're aware of those stages and we're aware of those changes that are happening to them. And we can have open and honest conversations with them about the reasons for those changes and what they mean and where they're leading them to. So it's important as parents that if I don't know, I need to find out. I need to do some reading. I need to do some research, because this is the place that I want them to get information from. The best place teenagers can get information about their own bodies and sexuality is from home rather than from anywhere else. So it's an area that I need to make sure that I'm equipped with knowledge and understanding in, because every child goes through it, and every child that passes through this stage needs a gentle hand to help them and guide them and explain things to them that may become confronting and confusing for them. And sometimes their change happens at different rates. They may change physically before they fully grow emotionally and socially. So even though on the outside they may start to look more and more like a grown-up, on the inside they're still developing as a child and they still have emotional needs that need to be met. And sometimes as a parent it's difficult to marry between what we see physically and what's happening for our child emotionally. So the best thing to do is to make sure that I cater for my child's emotional needs. And irrespective of how their physical growth is progressing, I need to nurture and take care of their emotional growth and their psychological growth and their social and their spiritual growth. Because if I do that, then they will eventually catch up with where their body is going. At this stage, they also have intense feelings related to sex. They have a keen interest in their own bodies, especially sexual processes. And again, this is an area that as a parent, you need to be educated. You need to have the correct information to be able to have honest and open discussions. You want this to be a subject that your child knows that they can come to you about, not one where your response of, oh, that's rude, that's terrible, we don't discuss those things, that's impolite, or you're too young to talk about this. Children are finding out about this subject younger and younger and younger. So it's important that as parents we're well prepared and well equipped with answers that are honest and factual and true. Because if our child believes that they can come and they can talk to me about those subjects, then they know that the information that they're getting is trustworthy. But if they don't feel that they can come and talk to me, they'll find another source. And oftentimes that's where dangerous ideas and thought patterns enter into a child's life. So open and honest conversations about sexuality and sex are important at this stage. It's also important to know that a child between the ages of 12 and 14 are going through an emotional roller coaster. They may change in their hormones on a daily basis. And so one day they're up and the next day they're down. And at times parents feel they don't know where this child's attitude or behavior is coming from. But we need to bear in mind that this is a seasonal change. This is something that they will go through for a period of time and it will settle down. So as a parent, if I have that at the back of my mind, if you know as a parent that my child is going through this and it's a difficult stage, it's a stage where their hormones and their emotions are all over the place, then I can deal with them accordingly. I can use self-disclosure. I can talk to them about the difficulties I faced as a teenager growing up and tell them how hard it was for me when I had certain feelings or certain emotions or certain thoughts, and that it passes, that eventually it does pass and things change and you feel differently. It's important to not dismiss their feelings and not trivialize their emotions or not do away with their thoughts, but to actually spend time talking to them and showing them empathy for what they're going through. Telling them, I understand and it's okay and I'll walk this journey with you, empowers a child to see beyond the feelings that they're having at that moment. They also have a deep desire for independence. Children at this age, or rather teenagers, want to feel like they are free, that they can conquer anything and do anything and go anywhere on their own. So it's important that I give them healthy boundaries while allowing them to feel that sense of independence. Allowing them to do a little bit more than what they could do in the previous age is important. They need to feel like they're growing up, and they need to feel that they're being trusted. If I've done a good job at instilling healthy values, Christian ethics, and a knowledge of right and wrong, and given them the power to make decisions, this is an age where I can start to trust them and give them more opportunity to do those things. And it's really also important to understand that peer pressure plays a critical role in this age, both from the same sex and from the opposite sex. You can use peer pressure as a positive influence by ensuring that the group that my child is part of is a positive one. It's important that I get to know my children's friends, that rather than excluding them from my life, I include them into my life, that I make sure that I spend time with my child's friends so I know them, I know what they're all about, I know what their families are all about. I shouldn't force my child to engage in friendships away from me. I need to be aware of who they're with, and I need to be able to have open and honest conversations with my child about what's acceptable for our family and what's not acceptable for our family. It's also very important to make sure that children in this age group are involved with you in making decisions. They want to feel like they are now a grown-up member of your family. So make sure they're involved, make sure you hear their opinion, and make sure that you listen to them carefully. And when you do, they'll feel heard and valued and appreciated, and they'll feel more grown up, and they'll learn how to make those decisions with you rather than away from you. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time on Positive Parenting.